Chinese city explosion. Cleanup work begins. Residents are forced to leave their homes and abandon their pets. Residents in the northeastern Chinese city of Shenyang are still waiting to hear when they can return home after a deadly gas explosion that killed at least 4 people. The blast at a mixed-use residential building near the center of the Liaoning provincial capital on Thursday morning shattered windows and blew away walls and doors, leaving several nearby buildings uninhabitable. On Friday evening, the authorities said the death toll had risen to 5. While the condition of 2 of the 3 seriously injured had improved. At least 44 more people sustained minor injury. The injured were treated at several nearby hospitals. A nurse from the Liaoning Electric Power Center Hospital said that patients who suffered minor injuries had been discharged on Thursday, but did not disclose the number. Residents whose homes were damaged in the blast in Taiyuan South Street were evacuated in a hurry and have not been allowed back into their homes, even to pick up their belongings or pets. Others whose homes escaped damage were allowed to stay, but there was no water or gas. The government has offered free accommodation at 36 hotels, but many did not have time to take any essentials before they left. One retiree said she did not have time to pack any belongings and only had 100 yuan on her. She had not even been allowed to go back for her medicine. She said she was staying with her child because it was too much trouble to go into a hotel, adding, "I was told that I might need to prepare for the long haul. I am not sure when I can go back," said another resident who lives in the Yichun community, right behind the explosion site. "I was told to wait for the notice from the government. Perhaps 2 or 3 days later, after the government helps us check the safety of our buildings, we believe our government." As of noon on Friday, police cars were parked in the neighborhood, stopping people from crossing a cordon into the area where investigators were still at work. On a pile of broken glass, an old, abandoned dog was seen shivering in the cold while chewing on a snack wrapper. Although someone had provided food for the animal, neighbors said that it had refused to leave the scene after its elderly owner had been hospitalised and his wife evacuated. A police officer said another resident had tropical fish worth more than 100,000 yuan, which had to be left to die because there was no electricity to heat the water. The ground of the neighborhood was blanketed in glass, with residents who were allowed to stay in their homes gathering outside to assess the damage and report their situation to community workers. Gas and water pipes at nearby buildings were also being examined to ensure their safety. Another Yichun resident surnamed Tian said he had been cut by flying glass after the blast shattered his windows, but he did not realize what had happened until he saw the blood on his face. "I am still scared to recall what happened yesterday," he added. His wife, a woman surnamed Zhou, said it was lucky their 2 children had gone to school by the time of the blast, which happened around 8:20 a.m. The couple left immediately carrying only their phones, even though their clothes were covered in blood. She said the couple wanted to collect a change of clothing and warm clothes for the children, but they had not been allowed back inside. Some local stores were also forced to close. The owner of a seafood and barbecue restaurant on Taiyuan South Street, one of the city's most popular dining areas, said her establishment was one of the busiest in the area, but the walls had been damaged in the blast and she feared she would lose over $1 million as a result. The local authorities said investigations are continuing into the cause. The specific reason has not been found. The building where the incident occurred now is a dangerous building, and no one has entered. "I still do not know how the gas leak occurred," an official from the Liaoning Emergency Department told the paper.cn on Friday. According to the China Gas Association, in the first quarter of the year alone, there were 241 gas-related accidents across the country, causing 32 deaths.